Hello, Internet. It is MTGO. I have a Lantern control deck. Surprise! I'm sure you're surprised. Pretend to act surprised. Today I'm going to be playing Golgari. I'm recording this intro after the time of this league. The date that this league was played on was August 26th, 2024. This was after the announcement, I think it was like 8 hours after the announcement of the banning of Nadu and the banning of Grief, which is expected to shake up the meta quite a bit. And really quickly, I want to talk about what I think the future of the meta is going to look like in the short to medium term. I'm probably going to be wrong about what's going to be super popular. I'm sure there's some weird fringe deck or something that I'm forgetting that's going to come up. But I just want to address some notable decks that are going to come back into the limelight that we haven't seen for a little while, that Lantern cares about. The banning of Grief doesn't make a big difference to Lantern control. I think Lantern was one of the decks that cared less about being scammed than other archetypes. It definitely hurt to start several cards down, but Lantern already mulliganed pretty well, and as long as you could find a bridge somehow, games got very easy against most scammed lists. They didn't have a lot of removal for ensnaring bridge that you were worried about. Things like Necrodominance have historically been a pretty positive matchup. Things like Gorios, they could be annoying sometimes, but a lot of the times your opponent just wasn't ready to interact with you properly. Living End was already considered a pretty positive matchup. So the fact that all of those decks got worse doesn't really matter too much for Lantern control. It's just going to keep doing the thing that it's been doing. Now, the much more impactful ban is Nadu, because first off, everybody was bad against Nadu. That's how it was. Lantern held a surprisingly decent game just because you run 2 or 3 main deck Pithing Needles. That tends to help a lot against the deck that's trying to win through activated abilities. Now that Nadu's gone, there are a lot of other combo decks that are going to be coming back into the format. There are also going to be more people picking up things like Boros Energy and Jeskai Control, facilitating Wrath of the Skies in the One Ring, which is going to be scary. So I think right now the 4 boogeymen of the format are going to be Boros and Mardu Energy, which Lantern struggles against at the moment. It's not unwinnable, but it is a bit difficult. Jeskai One Ring Control, which is probably our worst matchup for a tier 1, tier 2 deck. There's going to be various combo decks floating around. Some of the decks that I expect to make a resurgence are Yawgmoth, which I've seen a bunch of in the last few leagues that I've played, and Amulet Titan, which I've seen floating around before and after the ban list, but I expect it to come back, and people should be testing it out a little bit more now that Nadu isn't killing it faster than it can kill. The last deck that I think is going to see an uptick in the combo space is going to be Ruby Storm. It's never really a huge meta percentage because it's hard to win with Ruby Storm through interaction, but I would expect some pilots of Storm that are also capable of playing other decks have dropped Nadu and might be picking up Ruby Storm again. So I'd be on the lookout for that as well. The 4th archetype that I would be worried about are the Tron variants. For the most part, Lantern does pretty well against how Tron and Eldrazi builds are made right now. These are the decks that we should be paying attention to. The big difference that Nadu was crowding out, I think, were Yawgmoth and Amulet. I think those are the 2 new decks that are going to be on the radar that we should be paying attention to, that were historically unfavorable matchups that we need answers to those again. That being said, I did not prepare for the meta correctly with the current list I'm about to show you. This is the very first league that I played going into the meta. I was convinced that the changes I made to the deck were gonna work just fine. First off, I thought it was gonna work fine. Like, I thought the deck wasn't going to implode on itself as much as it does. It still does pretty well, but there are some awkward moments that you'll find during the games. Let me go over some of the weird, quirky things about this deck list. So first off, we're running 3 copies of Bobble instead of 4. This is because I'm running a Candy Trail. I like using Candy Trail as an Urza Saga target if I need to desperately dig for something that is not Saga tutorable. For example, an Ensnaring Bridge, maybe a Thought Seize is necessary, maybe a Trophy is necessary. Candy Trail lets you do that through with the Saga. Just cut a Bobble, add a Candy Trail. Second thing that I'm adding is Fatal Push. With a bunch of energy floating around, I've been trying to force Fatal Push or other 1 mana removal spells into the deck. I found them very helpful in general. I think I still like them. One other thing I wanted to test out was removing an Assassin's Trophy from the main deck and replacing it with some 2-mana creature planeswalker removal. Assassin's Trophy is an amazing removal spell, but the double colored pips on it haven't really felt worth it sometimes when I've been playing the card. If I draw in Urza Saga and I really want to play that turn 2, that means I can't trophy on turn 2, and sometimes the matchups are just fast enough where I really need that Saga tutor right away, but I also need to get the Assassin's Trophy out of my hand, and sequencing that is really difficult sometimes. So Bitter Triumph is much easier to cast. It also helps me dump my hand quicker in the aggro matchups, and in the non-aggressive matchups, then paying 3 life isn't the end of the world. Other cards that I've been thinking about are Baleful Mastery is another one. Somebody recommended Bone Shards. I did move a trophy to the sideboard because there's a lot of artifacts and enchantments that might be coming back in the meta that people are tinkering with. Like, I'm a little nervous about Leyline Binding coming back, or Yawgmoth has Birthing Rituals and Soul Cauldrons that are worth addressing. I figured having a trophy in the 75 is still nice, so that got moved to the sideboard. The last change that I wanted to make is that I've been seeing, or if energy is going to be much more popular, then Blood Moon is going to be around in the format much more frequently. There's also Harbinger of the Seas running around in some decks too. Some of the Frog Tide lists have been running Harbinger of the Seas in the main board to try and hedge against their poor Eldrazi matchups. So my thought was, if we're reducing the color requirements in the deck, we're only running 3 green pips in the entire main board. Maybe we can just run 4 basic swamps, 1 basic forest, cut the Overgrown Tomb, because we're not as reliant on both colors of mana, and run 6 fetch lands. So we have the 4 Verdant Catacombs, and then we have the 2 Prismatic Vistas. I've cut a Blooming Marsh to make room for all of this as well. That was the big thing I was testing in this deck list, was reducing reliance on both colors of mana and trying to add a higher basics count. The fetches also help trigger Fatal Push more reliably, and I kind of wanted the extra fetch count to see if it would help when I need extra shuffles to the Lantern of Insight. So, you know, just tinkering with stuff. In the sideboard, there's one card that I want to mention. I'm going down 1 Toxic Deluge. Another Toxic Deluge was what came out for the trophy here. But Flaying Tendrils is a weird card. This comes straight out of the wheelhouse of Taddy99, who's been doing a lot of MTGO challenges. They're pretty much the only person that's had success that reports in the Lantern community Discord, and we very much appreciate their successful runs because it gives us much needed data. I cannot spend the 20-30 ticks that it takes to get into these challenges while still making videos and constantly going 2 and 3. So props to them for being able to do that. For science, they've been testing Flaying Tendrils. It only gives -2/-2, and it costs 3 mana, so it's not great on rate. The Exile clause is relevant, so I do kind of like it against potentially Yawgmoth, but it also means that it doesn't fuel Flage. If you take out a Guide of Souls or an Ajani or something like that, then that's very helpful. The main reason to run Flaying Tendrils is because it has Devoid, which means that you can pull it off of an Ancient Stirrings, which I think is amazing. I think in the future I'm going to be trying some heavier Stirrings lists to yoink the Tendrils out of my deck when I need it the most. I didn't find any room in this deck list though, and because I'm limiting my reliance on green mana, I decided that I was going to leave 2 Stirrings and 1 Tendrils. And that's the deck. If you want to try out this deck list in particular, there's going to be a Moxfield link in the description of this video. Go check that out. If you're looking for this specific version, it's going to be under August 26th, 2024 in the deck primer. I save all my previous iterations of the deck there. If you want to see some other deck lists, you can check out the profile that's also in the description. Most of that content is Lantern, but you will also catch decks that I'll be running on the stream ahead of time. And you'll be seeing deck versions that may not make it to videos as well, which is cool. You'll see the newest tech. I've also been thinking about adding another archetype to the channel that is in the Moxfield profile. That's it for plugs. Let's go to match 1. All right, game 1, match 1. We're on the play. Like to see that. This is a weird starting hand. Opponent did not reveal Giganta, so I don't think we're on energy. I think this is turn 1, Garden's Codex Shredder. Turn 2, I could Inquisition and see what's up. It's not a fantastic hand, but I think it's okay. Okay, we will go Shredder and pass. They play Gardens and Amulet. Uh-oh, I'm in danger. I'm going to start milling them right now. Oh, we hit a ring. That's good. Yeah, I'm in trouble for sure. We'll play out the Saga, and I'm gonna Inquisition them. Missing out on that turn 1 Inquisition really hurt. Oh, no. Okay, what can they do this turn? They cannot One Ring next turn, so I can run out the Needle. They're, like, all in on casting another One Ring, I think. Opponent does Vesuva, copying my own Urza Saga. I hate that. That's very unfortunate. They're probably going to copy their Amulet of Vigor with the Gardens, if I had to guess. So I think this turn... Yeah, they're going to copy the Amulet, probably. That means if they copy the Amulet, then a Gruul Turf or a Simic Growth Chamber, like the bounce lands themselves, can cast the One Ring. So I think I need to slam the Needle now. I could also make a token and then do the Needle next turn, because the One Ring is only going to draw them one card. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I don't think I care about that. I think I'll just make a token next turn, and I'll be okay. I'm going to lead on the Needle now. They probably copy in response. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh. Oh, you know what? Maybe they... Yeah, I think they've identified that the One Ring is the correct name. And if I try and Needle the Gardens, then they don't care as much. So I think I still Needle the One Ring. My hand is on the table. I didn't really consider it, but Assassin's Trophy is a lot better against Amulet Titan, because I can answer the Amulets, which the Bitter Triumph can't, and I can also answer their Valakuts. Both of those are going to be problems. Okay. Yep, opponent is making mana. They have 5 mana. There's the One Ring. Okay. They picked up their Vesuva as well. That'll be relevant later. Oh, I should have milled them in response. Oh well. Actually, I think they're on Shifting Woodlands builds now these days, right? So maybe milling them is not the right play. I'm going to make a Construct. That's a big boy. And I think I run out... I have 2 Codex Shredders already, so I think I run out the Lantern. They're hitting a Dryad. I don't think I care about the Dryad by itself, but I don't know what else is in their hand. Dryad gets scary if they drew, like, a Titan. It doesn't do anything on its own with the hand that I know that they have. I'm gonna run out the second Saga. If I mill this Dryad, what am I happy for them to draw? Like lands, most lands I'm happy with them drawing, I think. Okay, I don't think I ever respond to that One Ring trigger. I'll mill the Dryad to be safe. Echoing Deeps is fine. They can have that one. Nah, they're just going for Titan. Okay. I don't have a bridge either, so they can bully. Ooh, they're on a Colossus build. Okay. I haven't seen Cultivator Colossus in a little bit. So they're not on Shifting Woodlands, probably. Or I guess they could have, like, one, but they're not on a Shifting Woodlands-oriented build. Okay, so they can tutor up Boseiju and kill the Needle, grab a One Ring, or fire off the One Ring. They probably find a way to give the Titan haste to start with, and then they can go and tutor for more lands afterwards. That would be my guess. Mirror Pool and Growth Chamber. I mean, that works too. They can just copy their Titan and just do it again. Yeah. I'm gonna yield until start combat. Yep, there's Primeval Titan number 2. That makes sense, because they can grab a red bounce land. Or, yeah, they grab a red bounce land, and then the Hanweir Battlements. Or, yeah, Valakut works too. Yeah, and then they give both of these haste, and then both of them go find more lands. Okay. We're in combat now. So I can kill one of these prime times. I don't think Valakut matters right now. It will matter later. But it doesn't matter right now. I just kind of want to see what they tutor at this point. Like, this is going to be pretty challenging as it is. I will survive this combat with the Construct token unless they deal damage to it, though. Like, I can discard a land to the cookbook here. This Construct will be a 7/7, and then I can block one of them. So I'm not, like, dead. But, you know, when they have this many triggers, it's a problem. Oh, yeah, okay. Oran Reef actually pumps up the creatures substantially. That's bad. Never mind. There's a Boseiju as well that they're going to bounce. Yeah, we're pretty dead. I forgot about the Oran Reef. I've always been curious why Oran Reef is in the deck. Because I can't really see a reason that you'd want to pump up your prime times that much. Like, they're already 6/6s, but in this case it was relevant. And I never considered that you get multiple Oran Reef triggers, which is kind of cool. Okay, they're just going to one-shot me. Or, well, I can block once, so I'm not dead yet. That is definitely a problem. Okay, Boseiju's back in hand. We're going to take 13, assuming that I dump this Catacombs to the cookbook. Oh, duh. Yeah, that's right. They can just blow up my Construct. All right. I forgot about that part. That makes a lot of sense. Oof. Okay, let's go to post board. I think all these cards come in. So Terra Sunder and Trophy. Terra Sunder's for the ring. Assassin's Trophy also hit, or Terra Sunder's for Amulet and the ring. And Dryad. Trophy hits all those but the ring. Extirpate can slow them down if I discard the right thing. Damping Sphere slows them down across the board. I didn't see anything where I'd want Cookbook, so that'll come out. The Cage should also come out. Fatal Push doesn't really matter here. Bitter Triumph can answer a lot of their combo creatures, so I think that stays in the deck. What else? What else? What else? What else? I think the Baubles come out and the Candy Trail can come out. Let's try and run gas. Or we'll just try and run answers over deck consistency. What about the Profane Tutors? I think Profane Tutor can... Is there any specific card that matters a lot? I guess the Bridge matters quite a bit. So tutoring specifically for Bridge will matter. Yikes. Okay. If my opponent has a remotely good hand, they win with this. I think I need more interaction than what's provided here. Yeah, this is better. This is much better. I think I bought him a Gardens. Oh, I could bought him a Shredder, I suppose, but I do want to lock relatively soon. Yeah, I think I could just lean on Damping Sphere for now. Never mind. I could go like turn 1, Pithing Needle, name Ring. Try and bait out some removal. No, I don't think that's right. Amulet is a Force of Vigor deck. I need to keep that in mind as well. Opponent's really thinking about their hands, so if they keep, then it might be a riskier keep. It might be good too, they're just trying to calculate how they win. It's hard to tell. The more that I'm looking at this hand, the more that I'm thinking that Shredder doesn't do anything. Like, I have a guaranteed way to slam a Bridge on turn 3 with this sequence of cards. The only downside is that I need to Blind Needle something. I think that's okay. So turn 1, I'll run out the Needle. I guess I didn't have to run that out turn 1, but I think I still do it. It encourages them to use the Force of Vigor on turn 2. The Ring draws them out of sticky situations. Maybe Boseju's the right name there, but I think the One Ring is... They're more reliably going to have the One Ring quickly. Saga's a nice draw. Do I rely on them having Force of Vigor in their starting hand? I think I assume that they don't have it in the starting hand, because like they only run 2 of them normally. Oh, this pause makes me... Okay, phew. I was gonna say, they just force both of those, that would hurt so much. Okay, we're good. That would have been the time for them to Force of Vigor. And I think I can try and bully a little bit with Constructs first. I don't need to run out the Bridges yet. I can just play Mycosynth Gardens, pass, make them do stuff. It's funny, our board states look very similar. We both have a Gardens and Forests. We both have 1 mana things. Okay, they play a Dryad. Oh, they play a Boseiju. Okay. That makes me think they have other stuff to interact with artifacts and enchantments. That, or they're just trying to hit a Primeval Titan and just cast it normally. That'd be an interesting thing that they would need to do. What am I tutoring? Needle on Boseiju doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense anymore. Although if they hit another Primeval Titan, like they could have a bounce land and they just bounce Boseiju later. So I could just Needle Boseiju. Just try and get things done quick and dirty with my constructs and then just have a backup Ensnaring Bridge if things start to fall apart later. This could just mean that they have 2 Bosejus in hand as well. So I want to get that out of hand as fast as possible. Okay, opponent's on 15. Next turn, I can use the Mycosynth Gardens to copy the Damping Sphere as well. Okay, opponent is copying Urza's Saga from the graveyard. That's kind of cool. Oh, they have 2 of them. They're tapping for Dismember. No, they're tapping for the Ring. Okay. So they get protection for a turn. They can make constructs next turn. Loud and clear. Roger, roger. There's a Pixis. I can play that. Attacking doesn't do anything, so I will just pass. My constructs are much bigger than theirs, thankfully. Yeah, they can make 2 constructs. Those will be 4/4s next turn. Oh, there's a Boseiju. So they did have a second Boseiju. What a weird game. They're just playing Mono Green Saga right now. They're just sticking Boseiju in their hand. Is that what they're trying to do? Yeah, okay. You know, I think I should have cracked this fetch some time ago. I should have done it on my last main phase, because they can respond to me cracking this fetch. I'm just going to do this now. They could respond to me cracking this fetch by removing my Damping Sphere, and then that's a problem. Okay. I think I still need to be aggressive and copy the Damping Sphere, because I'm trying to clock my opponent aggressively. I don't have the Lantern Lock set up, I think I assume that they don't have any interaction to blow up the damping sphere. And then I just try and make 8/8s on my next turn so that I can crack in for a lot. Okay, so I have 2 damping spheres. Oh, cool. Never mind. Top deck Lantern, like a boss. Professional. Awesome. Now at instant speed, I can make these construct tokens 9/9s. So I'll attack with both of these guys. If they try and double block, then I copy Pixis at instant speed. Oh, you know what? They can do the same trick. I'm tunnel visioned. I still think this is okay, because I am massively outpacing them. Yeah, I still need to do this. That sucks. It doesn't really matter what order we do this in. They're just going to do it anyway. That's fine. It's still correct for me to attack here, I think. Are they blowing up my Pixis? Oh, yeah. Okay, they're copying. Oh, no, this is my thing. What are they doing? What? They could copy their own amulet. And then these are 5/5s. Okay. I'm confused. We'll take it. I'm not gonna complain. Maybe they didn't board in Force of Vigors originally. Or maybe, I think they just kept a weird hand with 2 Bosejus, thinking that it would get them there. How does my board look? Anything I want to take out? Not really. I think I just want to run it back. These Mycosynth Gardens really love us this match. If this was a forest or a blooming marsh, I might be able to keep this hand. This is a hand where I go turn 1 Lantern, and then I need to shuffle if I don't draw a land in the next turn, or there's not one on top. And then I just pray the Damping Sphere does work. Trophy doesn't even work on turn 2, though. Like, I don't think I can keep that. This hand is better. I think Trophy is the weakest link here. Wow, not being able to fetch for Overgrown Tomb really matters in this hand. I think Trophy goes to the bottom. Like, I think I need to fetch for black to Inquisition my opponent. I could also go turn 1 Saga, Lantern. Nah, because turn 2 they can do... Well, actually, I can't answer the One Ring. Let's see what their turn 1 is. If their turn 1 play is Amulet, then I might just ignore the Inquisition. But they didn't do that. Oh, and we found a Thoughtseize. Okay. Absolutely doing a turn 1 Thoughtseize. Wow, they hit double Boseiju again. That is very funny. Okay, well, we ball. Oh, they bowled a 5. I didn't even see that. Wow, okay, fine. Fine, have your Primeval Titan. What a top deck. Oh, they can have the ring, too, if they want. Oh, they took the ring. Okay. Is that another Boseiju? That was the 3rd Boseiju. Wow, that's a lot. That's crazy. Yeah, the fact this isn't an Overgrown Tomb is really going to hurt me. Okay, well, I know that Inquisition is a dead card here. That's a 3rd tier. Oh my god. So the opponent next turn is going to play or Suitor Up Amulet. They're going to have 1, 2, then 3, 4 mana off the Growth Chamber. They're going to cast One Ring. So I need to find a way to answer that One Ring. I have to let them have this Dryad, I think. Okay, they're going to do something a little bit slower, but more stable. Oh, wait, no, they haven't played any lands yet, right? Oh, so they can still ring. Yikes. Yeah, okay, I'll just go to end step. They could draw another Dryad at this point. I don't care about that. The most important thing is that I need to hit a land. They put Boseiju back in hand. Okay. I'll mill myself here. No, that doesn't answer what I need. Okay, bridge has to go. Actually, I might... If I manage to hit the green mana, I might hit Amulet of Vigor with this Terrace Under. Okay, that counts. That is green mana. Yeah, if I hit this Amulet, they don't have anything else to copy the Amulet. Like, they can draw into it with the One Ring, but I have another Terrace Under that I can use to answer the ring later. Yeah, I'm just going to cast it now as well. Just get it out of here. So Vesuva can copy the Urza Saga in the graveyard as well. They hit it Gardens. Okay, so they could go like Mycosynth, Vesuva, copy Saga. Oh, okay, yeah, they don't have to do that this turn. They can do that next turn. Or they can... Sorry. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Alright, now they go Vesuva. No? No Vesuva yet? Okay. Roger, roger. So I don't think I can afford my opponent drawing more cards off the One Ring. So I think Urza Saga's looking for a needle naming Boseiju. I have to Terrace Under this One Ring. I can't make constructs, and I need to dig for a bridge. I have a few turns to get there, though. So I can draw this Fomori Volt, I think. Float of mana. I'll grab Needle. Name Boseiju. Blow up the ring. Play Fomori Volt. Oh, I guess I could have cast Inquisition on them, too. That was not a good way to sequence my mana. Sure, have a Dryad, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So lands and bridges, that's what I'm looking for. Either one really would be fine, but Inquisition is not a card that I care about. Oh, cool, they play Vesuva. There's the third Dryad. Yeah, I could have taken that out of their hand with the Inquisition. That was a misplay. I can make them mill the Valakut. That's nice. And they played their Vesuva out. But I think normally if they're on one Valakut, they're on two Vesuva, right? So, oh. Well, they've got land drops for days. They only need one amulet to, like, go completely haywire. So this is a 2-turn clock all of a sudden. Oh, this Valakut also just kills me if they draw it. So I need to mill them. Oof. Assuming that I let them swing in, which I probably do next turn, I think I just make them mill the Valakut. Well, the odds that they have a better... Yeah, no, I think that makes the most sense. Okay. So I'll play out Urza Saga. I'm going to spin the Vault this turn. Bonk you. Aw, really? So I need to do this from Mori Vault thing first, so that I can look at 3 cards instead of 2. Stirrings, because I don't have a green source on the field right now, costs 2. I don't have a land. Does Needle do anything more? I guess it can hit the One Ring if I somehow stabilize. Nah, you know what? I think I take the Stirrings. And upkeep, I just need to make sure that I mill myself, because... Oh, wait, no. I can draw the Swamp. So, upkeep, my opponent's upkeep, I pop the Lantern targeting them. They don't get to draw their Vesuva to copy their Valakut. Then they don't get to Lightning Bolt me and swing for 8, which would be exactly enough damage for lethal. They say thank you. That does not bode well. Now I need to know. Hold on. Yeah, they would have. They control 5 other lands. They're all mountains because of the Dryads. Yeah, okay, so I did need to shuffle them anyways. Yeah, they can even just grab Vesuva and just dome me, and that's all I need to do. Alright, they have Echoing Deeps to copy. Oh my god, I forgot what card I was playing. Vesuva copies things on the table, it doesn't copy things in the graveyard. Nope. I could've... Yep, I just spun my opponent into interaction. That was really silly. Oops. I was fine. I was stable. That was dumb. Alright. On to match 2. Alright, match 2. If we have mana problems the same way that we had that last game, I'm really nervous for the way this league is going to pan out. I thought I was fixing the mana base, and it turns out I was not. Or so far, but we only played a couple matches, and Mycosynth Gardens came up in like all of them, which made it a lot worse. So we'll see how things pan out. Alright, match 2. We're on the play. That is not a good mana base to keep a hand off of. This is a very funny hand to keep, but like if we're talking serious, if I don't draw a single colored source, like this hand completely folds in on itself. So I think I gotta mulligan this. Like this is better. This is much more stable. So I could go turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Profane Tutor, and I already have a bridge. So I probably just bottom the Stirrings here, I think. I guess I don't really know what I'm looking for yet. Maybe I keep the Stirrings and bottom the Pixis. That's probably better. Because, like, maybe this is a matchup where Needle's more important. We'll see if I regret that. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the Pixis and bottom the Stirrings. Hello? Game? I am lagging. Oh, there we go. Okay. This looks like Frog Tide. There's a chance that it's Death Shadow as well. This looks very similar to the Death Shadow list I was playing earlier. What am I worried about here? I think I need to take the Drown in the Lock? That seem right? Just hope they don't draw into counter spells. If my opponent sees turn 1 Blooming Marsh Thoughtseize, what do they think that I am? Do they think I'm a deck where they care about counterspell? Like, they might think I'm some weird Necro variant. Which, in that case, then counterspell is pretty important. Thoughtseize is also very important, and that steals my bridge. Well, I can't really stop the preordains from happening. I think I just take the Drown. Maybe I'm supposed to take the Frog there instead. Or one of the frogs. But I think Drown in the Lock gets to be a counterspell the most amount of the time. That is the thing that is guaranteed to interact with the bridge. Okay, wow, I think this is Death Shadow. Cool. Alright, well, you know what? They only had 1 land. Nope, yeah, that's definitely Death Shadow. Awesome. Death Shadow is really cool. I like Death Shadow a lot. Stay tuned for potential Death Shadow videos in the future. I've been experimenting with some deck lists. So this preordain is not there anymore. I draw an island. Play Psychic Frog. Okay, so if I draw a land here, then I can slam a bridge and I'm, like, home free. Are we good at Magic today? We are good at Magic today. It's probably the best land to draw against them, too, honestly. Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah, it sticks around. Okay, so they do run some Sink into Stupor, so the game isn't like auto one for us, but it looks a lot better. What are we doing next turn? Okay, well, I guess we'll see what they do this turn first. Froggy comes in and says hello. I think the Profane Tutor that's coming off of Suspend next turn is going to find Inquisition. Their whole deck is going to be less than 3 mana, except for Street Wraiths, but I'm not taking a Street Wraith. So I think I'd take the Inquisition, and then I can Ancient Stirrings. Depends on what I draw, too. I'll take Inquisition. I'm not going to make a Construct. Oh, cool, we hit black mana. That's really powerful. So we'll lead on Inquisition. As a push, counterspell, or double push, counterspell, Frog, Thoughtseize, Misty. Okay, so it's these 6. I don't really care about Thoughtseize anymore. They're out of card advantage. I think I just take the counterspell. And I think I Stirrings and look for a Mana Rock. I could also Profane Tutor. Maybe that's better. Or I said Mana Rock, I meant Mill Rock. Or a Lantern. So I'll grab a Pixis. Those can go in any order. I'll run out the Pixis, I'll tutor up a Lantern, and I think we got this locked up. So yeah, if they want to Thoughtseize, then they can. I don't mind the Frog drawing an extra card for a single turn. Like, the odds that they draw their Sinks. I think normally they run, like, 2 Sink into Stupors. Alright, they fetch up a Sewers. In a Bauble, that makes sense. Froggy comes in again. They're debating whether or not they want to pitch some stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't. Every turn that this is a 1-power creature is an extra damage, and you're not pitching stuff to hand size, so you want to keep this as small as possible until... Oh, well, okay. They're going to make me hellbent. That's fine. Never mind. Thoughtseize, Frog are both gone. Misty's gone. So they got 2 Fatal Push in hand. Okay. Maybe it was correct for them to try and make the Frog bigger then. New Fatal Push. I can blow up a Froggy. I think I'm going to hold up Gardens, copy Pixis. Or I could even just Gardens, copy the Bridge. Either way, I don't think I need to make a Construct. Grab Lantern. I'll just copy the Bridge now. Yeah, and I can hold on to this for one more turn. That's fine. I think I just let them have this Preordain for this turn. They need to Sink into Stupors in order to win the game here. I don't mind sitting on a Fatal Push for a turn. Now we can see what our opponent's drawing. Thoughtseize is cool. Delta's cool. There's a Sink. We definitely want to hit that. No. No Sink for you. Cool. Alright, that's game 1. Makes sense. Nice and clean. What comes in post board? I think Collective Brutality is really important. The trophy probably doesn't matter. Collective Brutalities are really good. I think the only other thing that's really worth it may be Extirpate, just to hit Counterspell. Shadow doesn't run a lot of diversified answers to things like Ensnaring Bridge. Like, they run Sink into Stupor, and they run Counterspells. And of those Counterspells, they run, like, Counterspell, Drown in the Lock, sometimes, like, 1 or 2 Force of Negation. They only run, like, 1 or 2 Drowns as well, and then they might run, like, 1 or 2 Spell Pierce. So if I can Extirpate Counterspell or Sink into Stupor, I think we're home free. Beep, beep. Quick interjection, because I actually have a couple of reps with this deck list. I'm not going to say I'm an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I at least have some practice with it. I don't think I named the right cards when I was talking in the sideboard analysis. My brain was somewhere else, it seemed. But the threats that I want to Extirpate are going to be things like Counterspell, Sink into Stupor. I did mention those two, but there are other things that matter as well. So this is my deck list. Of course, there's different variations out there for Shadow right now, but Stubborn Denial is typically the third counterspell, or sorry, the second counterspell that really matters. The third counterspell is going to be something like Spell Snare, which we don't really care about as Lantern. Spell Pierce, which can matter. Force of Negation, which does matter. Or Drown in the Lock, which is what I run. And then the Sinks are obviously really important because they're the only permanent way to get rid of a bridge once it's resolved. And then in the sideboard, they tend to bring in Consigned to Memories, and they might have another counterspell in the sideboard, just as like a 1 or 2 of, like, usually it's Force of Negation or Pierce, something like that, or Spell Snare. So Extirpate is a good card to bring in, I think, because if Shadow is going to win, they're almost certainly going to do it by keeping a hand with a lot of stack interaction and then clocking you really fast. And extirpate cuts through all of that permission. So if you bait out like one copy of Counterspell and you manage to Thought Seize them, for example, or Inquisition them, and you know that they have another copy of a threat, or you have Lantern and you saw that they drew something, then you can extract things out of their hand, which is pretty powerful. Or of course you can just get rid of all the Sink into Stupors in their deck, and you don't have to worry about them ever again. That also works. Yeah, just wanted to mention that. Back to the video. What's coming out? I did see Mishra's Bauble, so they're probably on Netherglyphs. So our expensive creature removal is less relevant, but our Fatal Pushes are going to hit a lot of stuff. Actually, I might leave in the Bitter Triumph. The trophy is just going to be hitting creatures the whole time, so I don't care about that. Cookbook can come out. Cage can come out. The Needles are basically not... or textless. They don't do anything. They only hit fetches. Grafdigger's Cage could stop Netherglyphs at least. Maybe that's worth something. Well, actually, I think that's all that we want to take out of the deck. I can leave, like, one Needle in case they got Shimmy. Do I want any other cards? Maybe I could just leave in the trophy and just take out the last Pithing Needle. Let's do that. Once again, our hand is atrocious, and we do not draw basic black mana. Or sorry, it's not atrocious, but, like, mana-wise, this is problematic. So we have no discard, we have no way to cast discard if we draw it, we have no way to suspend this Profane Tutor, but we do have Urza Saga, we do have Shredder Bauble to go digging, and I do have a bridge already, so I think I keep this. But we are looking for several things. That's a Bauble. On themselves. Alright, they're seeing if they crack their fetch this turn. And they like what they see. I'm cool with the Spell Bomb, that's fine. That probably just came in because they needed to get rid of their Fatal Pushes and they didn't know what else to board in because they don't have a lot for this matchup. So I respect that. That makes a lot of sense. We drew the discard too. Oh, that sucks so much. Thanks, I hate it. All right, Bauble, Shredder, pass. We'll do this on our end step. All right, they get the bridge. Yeah, understood. I assume they take the bridge. I don't know why they would not want to take the bridge. Yeah. Bridge is gone. They can't Death Shadow this turn. Looks like they've kept a pretty reactive hand, which is going to be dangerous. I do not want that Codex Shredder. Bauble picks up a Black Source. Cool. Collective Brutality is also pretty great. So I think this turn I'm suspending Profane Tutor. I just need to start casting stuff. They haven't presented a clock yet, so we still have some time. Okay, they do Sewers, so that means they probably aren't racing Death Shadow. Oh, they topped their card? Should have done this on their end step, because now they can just crack the Bauble. Hey, we got a Sink. Look at that. Awesome. Alright, they can fetch Shock now. They can play Death Shadow. Oh, they play Basic Swamp? Whoa. Oh, my Urza Saga doesn't do anything, but at least we dodged the Harbinger. Cool. That was the mission statement of the heavy basic build that I'm running, was that I wanted to dodge things like that. So that's great. I can even blow this up with Brutality, actually. That is relevant. So I'm going to run out the Vault. I think I go Collective Brutality, blow up Harbinger, look at their hand. And to do that, I discard this Pixis. Double Counterspell Death Shadow. Okay. Oh, I played the land. I didn't need to play the land. Oops. That was silly of me. I didn't need to play the Fomori Vault. I could have gotten the Saga out there. Mini punt. Yeah, because this turn I could Inquisition and make a token too. That's really important. Yeah, they're kind of spinning their wheels. So they need to pop the Spell Bomb to try and maintain control of the game. Yippers, our graveyard's gone. They just immediately pass through everything. I forgot the Profane Tutor was suspended. I keep forgetting that. Please let us resolve it. Oh, yeah. All right, I think I'm doing Bridge, Inquisition, and then trying to resolve Bridge. Yeah, I like it. Okay, Inquisition. Oh. Just kidding. We're gonna hold on to Bridge for a minute. I think I take the Consign. I can extirpate away the counterspells at a later date, but Consign messes with my Urza Saga. Whew. Yeah, I would have loved to have the Saga tick up to 2 this turn. That feels bad. Our Consign's gone. Oh, Froggy's here. Hi, Froggy. Oh, they tapped out of counterspells, so I can just slam a Bridge here. Why did they do that? What's going on over there? Tap like I have trophy. I think opponent's getting impatient. Well, they do see Saga ticking as well, so they know that they have to do something. I think that's reasonable. Okay, so I don't really care about counter magic for the rest of the game. I just need to find an extirpate to answer the sinks. And once I do that, I should be okay. Well, there's a lantern. I think lantern resolves anyway, but I don't need to make a construct. I can float a mana here. I'll go digging. I think I just look for a lantern anyways. Just in case they drew, like, Drown in the Loch. Oh, look at that. A Sink into Stupor. Please no. Please don't do that. They're holding on this lantern. Okay. I am going to make them mill their Sink on my turn. I guess I don't need to do that. I don't know why I did that. But, okay. Hey, we got there. That's a pretty bad matchup for my opponent. Like, it's a big counterspell war. But the moment that a bridge lands, it's so hard for them to answer anything, so the game's kind of over. Those are some weird hand keeps, though. Like, game 2, that felt sketchy. I didn't like it. But we got there. So. On to match 3. Alright, go match 3. But you know what? I just realized I forgot something. I was gonna add something else to the sideboard that I regret not adding. In addition to the Flaying Tendrils, this was something that Taddy was running in the sideboard to combat One Ring control, or Jeskai One Ring. I absolutely should have tested out Thrun in this deck list. I guess the double green's going to be harder to cast because I don't have the Overgrown Tomb, but it's very good. It doesn't get hit by Galvanic Discharge because it can't be targeted. The only thing that really gets rid of it is Wrath of the Skies. But if you could fade that for 1 turn, then Thrun just is a 5-turn clock. So I should consider that in the future. Okay, round the play. That has been good luck for us so far these games, at least, is that we've been getting to play a lot. So I have a Lantern, I have a Saga, I have some removal, and I have a Profane Tutor. I think this is pretty much the nuts. We'll see how Bitter Triumph does. This is a good hand to test out Bitter Triumph. I think the only downside is that there's no Thoughtseize in this hand, but you know, we'll live with it. Ooh, Devourer of Destiny. Okay. Oh, it's probably Breach. Okay. So they exile... They keep Emrakul. Okay. That's good info. They have a Boseiju on top as well. That hurts quite a bit. Devourer is tucked under Ugin's Labyrinth. Ooh. It's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they could Breach next turn. That's a lot of pressure. I don't really have anything to do against that. I think I just need to... Like, I could Pixis, get rid of their Boseiju, and just pretend that they don't exist for a little while. Hold on, let me reread what Ulamog does as well. Ulamog the Defiler. Ward, sacrifice 2 permanents. Great, so I can kill it, but I have to sacrifice 2 permanents. That's not good at all. Emrakul has protection from spells, right? Emrakul. Protection from spells that are 1 or more colors. Okay. So I have to fade for a turn. I have to just assume that I don't die. Get rid of this Boseiju. Kozilek's Command is bad, too. Do we fade? Okay, we fade for 1 turn. Oh, they draw the ring. Yikes, okay. That's bad. I think I'm binning. I really need a Thoughtseize. I need to find some hand hate. That doesn't do it. 1, 2, 4, or 2, 3, 4 mana. Myco Spawn. I don't they might be able to kick Myco Spawn. I think I gotta make myself shuffle. I need to Thoughtseize. Inquisition doesn't hit Breach. Yikes. I can't target them anyways. Oh, I guess I could have bridged this turn. That's what I was looking for. But, yeah. Do we die? Show me the Breach. Wow, do they... Okay, they've been having... No. They would have breached if they had it this turn. Okay. Are they just gonna Kazi now? No, they're gonna Sowing Myco Spawn right now. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Ugin's Labyrinth puts another Devourer under it. Sure. So we're not dead yet. I think this Urza Saga has to find a Pithing Needle. I will make a Construct. I don't think it really matters if I hold up mana. Does it? Oh, it would have, because I could have answered Ulamog, right? Yeah, oops. But, okay, I have to Needle the One Ring. I'll just see how bad things are. Alright, there's Emrakul and Ulamog together, just chilling. That's scary. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure we're not going to have to worry about that. They only have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So they're 2 away from Ulamog. Maybe me cracking my Lantern was premature. Well, you know what? I think we're getting a bridge. Me, like, moaning and groaning over here, and I'm just reaching all the good cards. We exiled their Pixis too, right? Or was that the Lantern pop? No, I think we exiled the Boseiju, and I think they only run one of those. So we just need to find their World Breakers. Oh, and that Keswick Wolf run needs an answer as well. That's also a problem. But we can needle that. I should be doing Pixis at the end of these turns. Oops. I'm just going to fire off the bridge copy right now, because they can't do anything about it right now. Opponent can just die to the One Ring. Well, they can just recast the One Ring. Never mind. They can reset it. They whiff on their Stirrings. They might just be trying to resolve an Emrakul too. Like 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they're casting Ulamog. Okay. Top half of my library is exiled. I lose Trophy. I lose 1 Thoughtseize, 2 Thoughtseizes. What? 2 Lanterns. I don't really care about most of the stuff that they got rid of. I think I'm just going to start blind milling them. Oh, and then I hit World Breaker. Yikes. Okay, well, Gardens can continue to copy bridges. I don't care about Ulamog. They have an Emrakul in hand. That's still relevant. I will continue to copy bridges. I find it extremely unlikely that we fade our opponent drawing another One Ring anytime soon. Like, they have to find one. We're looking for a Needle, so hopefully they don't crack World Breaker and pop this Urza Saga. I suppose they could also just get the World Breaker back, pop the Pithing Needle, and then try and spin into stuff too. 6 mana means that they have Sowing Myco spawn, and they're gonna nuke my Urza Saga. Yeah, okay. So we have to draw another Needle naturally. We do have 2 left in the deck. They didn't exile any with the Ulamog. 10% chance that we're drawing those. That's actually not that bad. I'll take those odds. I think I'm still milling them on end step, though. I would also love a Lantern. That's another thing that I want to hit. Okay, World Breaker's back in hand. I'll hold on to Pixis for now. This is a matchup where Fatal Push is not important. Okay, World Breaker time. What's getting bopped? Is it the One Ring? Or is it the Needle? Yeah, it's the Needle on the ring. Uh-huh. They are back to drawing cards. I will Mickey Mill. Sure, Bobble. They took my trophy, so I don't really have any instant speed interaction, but I guess I'll draw a card. Stirrings will be good next turn. That can look for Needle. It can look for, well, stuff. At this point, I don't think I really care about needling the ring anymore. I just want to needle the Keswick Wolf run. I'm pretty sure they only run 1 World Breaker. Okay, they're gonna Stirrings. I find another Eldrazi Temple. There are only 22 cards in library. The One Ring is drawing them back to the same library count that we have. I'm sure that they're going to just discard an Emrakul to hand size, though, and everything's just going to get shuffled back in. But that's still something worth noting. Like, they're spewing out a bunch of permanents on the table. Oh, wait. Oh, they drew a Stirrings, duh. I was like, where's my Stirrings in my hand? Why is there a Codex Shredder here instead? I did Mishra's Bubble on my opponent and then assumed that I was drawing an Ancient Stirrings. That was silly. Oops. Okay, opponent is doing something at instant speed. Is this the Kozilek's command? Yes, yes it is. Actually, yeah. I should have cast or cracked Bobble on my opponent's turn. I will take 6 here. They discard Emrakul to hand size. That makes sense. So I can buy 2 turns off this Keswick Wolf run, because I can blow up an Eldrazi spawn that gets pumped twice. My opponent is at 2 life. That is nuts. They will continue to draw cards. What a weird game this has become. We've also officially squeaked ahead in time. Yeah, you might as well just tap out. Yeah. Please tell me they sacrifice all of these spawn tokens. Okay, no, they're thinking about it. The fact I'm not conceding yet is suspicious. What are they doing? Another Kozilek's command? I like how they're doing this on their own attack step. Why are we doing this right now? Oh, okay, they are doing a Keswick Wolf run. Well, they just sacrificed a lot of tokens. That was very kind of them. That's a 16-1. Blow up the spawn. They didn't draw a One Ring? How many One Rings are they running? What is... Okay, that game made no sense. My opponent has to have had some other copies of the One Ring that they could spin into, right? They weren't gonna die. I guess I just didn't keep their own One Rings to the Kozilek's command. I'm so confused. I don't understand what just happened there. We just yoinked a win. That we didn't deserve that. Okay, so opponent has lots of scary things very quickly. So Thoughtseize is a very important card in the deck. Cookbook is irrelevant. Grafdigger's Cage is not relevant. Those will come out. The Fatal Pushes were cute, but that's not what the game's actually about. Extirpate is tempting because they run Emrakul's, so I might need those. I don't think that I run Damping Sphere. I don't think that's what this game is about. Collective Brutality could matter to hit their breaches. What do I take out? Maybe the Baubles and the Candy Trail. I'll try it like this. Oh, I have 61. What else? Oh, right, because there's a trophy here, too. What else is coming out? The Needles are important, because that names the Worldbreaker, Kessig Wolfrun, and the One Ring. And Boseiju. So those are all very important. Might just take out a Tutor. This is a very fast matchup. Or at least, like, they're likely to go fast. Okay, this is a really nice, versatile hand if they have a One Ring reliant hand. It does absolutely nothing if they breach me, but I don't think I'm aggressively mulliganing for something like that. Like, we at least have some interaction. So I'll give it a shot. I think this Catacombs is looking for a forest instead of a swamp because we don't run the Overgrown Tomb. Once again, this is another matchup where shocking an Overgrown Tomb would have been completely fine. Yikes. Okay, they keep something. Turn 1, Ugin's Labyrinth into Talisman. So they're setting up for a turn 2 Wacko Bonko. Do I turn 1 Lantern? They could run out a ring next turn, but that only draws them 1 card, and then I can Needle. I think I run out the Lantern. Drawing a second Needle is okay. Okay, they're not breaching us this turn. Okay, it's a turn 2 One Ring. Cool. Go Urza Saga. I think I just Needled the One Ring anyways. Yeah, it's a World Breaker. Okay, so I'm going to run out Pixis. Go Pixis. Get rid of the World Breaker. Pass the turn. Cavern is cool with me. I guess the next question is, do I play anything this turn, or am I going the Saga route? I think because I don't have any Ensnaring Bridge right now, the Saga route might be important. Oh, you know what? Hold on. They could they have breached last turn? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, they could not have breached last turn. So they might have breached now, which means that I should probably respect that and make them not have it. Oh, wait, they only have 1 card in hand. What am I talking about? Never mind. This probably doesn't find anything meaningful. Right, it finds a Gemstone Caverns because durr. Okay, that was a waste of time. I am punting today. Lots of punts. Punts, punts, punts. Yep, Cavern name Eldrazi. Cool with me. I will not make you exile your Myco spawn. That's a very nice draw. Very lovely Myco spawn. I will make a token this time. That's absolutely what I should have done last turn. I think I grab another Pixis here. And crack the Catacombs. Find a 3rd Melrock. Your move, opponent. I'll let them have 1 Myco spawn. They do get to nuke one of my lands, but I can manipulate my library for that. Yeah, they're putting a Devourer in hand anyways. That's fine. Things are looking very good for me right now. Let's see, 1, 2, or 2, 4, 5, 6 mana to Myco spawn, if that's what they want to do. I don't even think I want this Terra Sunder. I'll probably mill this Terra Sunder. Okay, they are kicking the Myco spawn. Targeting Myco Synth Gardens. Okay, so they're not trying to hate me off of my colored mana. That's fine. That's the Kessig Wolfrun. I can Needle that. I think I'm happy starting with a Pixis. I don't think I want them having other big creatures, too. Oh, cool. I can even take their other big creature. Hell yeah. No Devourer. Kessig Wolfrun. What a weird best of 3 that was. Okay, so my opponent was just overly reliant on One Ring in that next hand, and we kept the nuts to interact with that hand, even though I didn't realize how far ahead we were until I burnt a free turn. That's okay. On to match 4. Okay, match 4. Alright, we're on the play again. Wow. 4 times in a row. I think this hand's keepable. Like, it doesn't have any Lantern pieces, but we'll get there soon. It has Disruption, it has Removal, it has a Tutor, and it has a Bridge. Can't ask for much. And expect better than this. This is Yawgmoth. Uh-oh. We need Needle. They have 2 Yawgmoths in hand already. Oh wait, they have no mana. If I take this Revitalizing Repast, I'm gonna high roll. I'm gonna high roll it. Take the land. Oh, it worked. Oh, that feels a little bad. I feel bad for my opponent. I might just run out the Lantern, to be honest. Try and keep him off of mana. Okay. Nope. Shuffle that. Do they draw a land? Oh, they got a land. Okay. They're operating. I can Inquisition the Wall of Roots. Then they just Malevolent Rumble and probably find a land. But the Rumble also finds other stuff if they keep hitting lands, so... Okay, double chord Rumble Roots. Yeah, I think the Roots is probably the better thing to remove. And then I'll suspend Profane Tutor. Okay, that's not coming back. They probably don't take the Halfling. They probably take the Tomb, if I had to guess. They take... Oh, they take the Soul Cauldron because they already hit a land. Gotcha. Okay, well, they have stabilized on mana. We'll go Gardens. I think I'm slamming a Bridge. Next turn, I can Soul Cauldron my opponent. And then I'll just Needle Yawgmoth, and then they're going pretty slow at that point, I think. Damn, they drew into mana. I'm so mad. I spent all my resources keeping my 1 Lantern keeping them off of mana. So they can Yawg this turn. They can draw 1 card. That's not enough for them yet. Maybe they just run out the Soul Cauldron, then do Wall of Roots shenanigans. Then they get more mana that way. Yeah. And now they can Yawg this turn as well. Wait, what? Oh, the Soul Cauldron puts a counter on the Halfling. That's right, that's what happened there. Alright, Yawg is hanging out. Yawg is chilling. Yeah, so I think what I'm doing here is I'm grabbing a Needle, naming Yawgmoth, trophying the Soul Cauldron. Actually, I might not... I don't think I'm trophying the Soul Cauldron yet. They don't have any other good targets in their graveyard. I can hit whatever they chord for with the trophy. Yeah, I'm just Needling Yawg. Oh, well. Oops. Start with the Needle. Yawgmoth. Thran Physician. I could just Needle Boseiju proactively as well. I think I'm into that. I'm trying to get my hand empty. Damn, if I knew I was drawing a Needle, I would have totally grabbed a cage, and I think we would have locked away the game. Okay, Young Wolf, yeah. The fact that they put a counter on this Delighted Halfling is kind of funny. Because they can't swing in with it anymore. That's relevant. Okay, we're gonna see a Court of Calling for 3. Yeah, Grist makes sense. I just realized, I don't think I've ever seen this interaction before. Does everything get Grist's ability if they eat it with a Soul Cauldron? I think it does. That means everything can start milling and making more insects. So I don't even know if I can... I shouldn't have named Boseiju here. I guess I should have named the Soul Cauldron. Hold on. Let me look this up. Causing it to have Grist's ability. Yeah, okay. Alright, yep, that works. So I need to take the Soul Cauldron before I could do anything about that. I think I just take the Soul Cauldron now in that case. If I draw the Needle to stop the interactions here, then I just Needle Grist. Why are you doing that now? Oh, just to put a counter on something? I did forget that my opponent is probably playing a Haywire Might as well. So maybe Pithing Needle on Boseiju was too hasty. Okay, well, we're tripling down on Ensnaring Bridge saving the day. Okay, they find another Soul Cauldron. They're nuking their own board, which is an interesting idea. Okay, everything... Oh, right, they can still... Yeah, I needed to name Soul Cauldron. I forgot. They can Yawg combo. As long as they get a Yawg in the graveyard. Yep, okay. That's bad. I haven't played against this deck in a little... no, that's a lie. I keep playing against Yawgmoth. I just forget how the deck works. I'm just not good at this. Oof. Okay. They're drawing a Bowmasters. That will perpetuate some Yawgmoth shenanigans. That's not what I was looking for. I will make my opponent kill me. Partially because it helps my clock, but also because I think we still have a turn or two before we're dead. But I spent the one thing in my deck that can answer a Soul Cauldron. Opponent has a second court, right? Which means that they're more than likely going to be able to find some way to kill me soon. Marginal deck thinning. Go, go. Another bridge. Okay. I think we had that one figured out, but I guess it's something. Okay, there's the chord. So now they're just going to find like a Cutthroat or a Blood Artist. There's the Blood Artist. Okay. And then they have the infinite combo, right? I just want to make sure that they can do it like 3 times in a row. And then I'll concede. Or I'll wait till we're like even on time. I think that's fair. Is this infinite? Their board state is slowly shrinking over time. Chord for 1. Okay, now this should be infinite, because like they put a counter on one of them. Or they sack one of them, the other one gets a -1/-1 counter, and then they can just sack one to the other, and then they just come back forever. Yeah, they're not losing a board state to this. Okay. Okie doke, I understand now. So I think Flaying Tendrils comes in. They are graveyard based, so maybe the Extirpate comes in. Second Cage comes in. I forgot to add Curse Totem to the board. That should be in here. This sideboard is not built correctly, I don't think. I do like how streamlined it is, but I think this deck is built wrong for the meta. I totally misjudged how ready this deck was. What else comes in? Brutality's not important. Terra Sunder's not... Well, Terra Sunder's kind of important. Like, Trophy matters. I'll bring in Trophy. Hitting Soul Cauldron in Grist is really important. Doesn't look like they're on a Birthing Ritual list, although they could still be in there and we just didn't see the right part of the deck. I think the Baubles come out and the Cookbook comes out. I don't know, the Bitter Triumph at least hits Yawgmoth, so maybe that still matters. If I'm running a Flaying Tendrils, do I add the Deluge as well? I think the answer is yes. Let's take out a Candy Trail. Try this. Oh, we're on 61 again because I put the trophy in the wrong place again. It's almost like I feel like this should be in the main board. I'll take out a Tutor again. That has no lands in it. That has lands in it, but I'm not... No, I'm okay with it. I would rather have Inquisition available, but like... This is fine. I think I bought him the Inquisition because it's the hardest to cast. Does that seem right? Like, I can go Lantern Pixis. I have the Needle. I have Saga for a second Needle and a Bridge. Like, I think that's all proactive enough, and the Inquisition is not on curve for this hand at all. It seems kind of weird to discard, or get rid of the discard, but yeah. Yeah. Opponent is a Force of Vigor deck, but Inquisition doesn't answer that. Ooh, Cage. Hi, Cage. I didn't pay attention to what my opponent just drew. That's probably important. Was it a halfling? I think it was a halfling. Alright, I probably don't want that Pixis next turn. I think I hold on to the Cage. I think I run out Saga. You know, they only run like 2 Force of Vigor. I can just run out a bunch of stuff right now. I'll Needle Boseiju for now and pass. Actually, we have a 1-turn buffer to not hit a land, so I could draw this Pixis if I feel like it's necessary. Okay, turn 2, they go Rumble. They reveal Endurance, Wall of Roots, Young Wolf, Catacombs. They choose Young Wolf. Speaking of, there's Young Wolf. Yeah, I'll pick up Pixis. Okay, there's the land that we needed. I think we're just all in on slamming a bajillion D artifacts on the table and saying that my opponent needs to draw really, really well, or just have good things in their hand already. If they have Yawgmoth, then they slip that in right now. And they just get to have it. But I have Bridge. There's the Yawg. Okay. I can stop them twice from drawing relevant stuff. They seem completely happy not to combo this turn as well. That is fantastic. Okay. They're going to let me tutor out a Needle? No, they're going to start doing stuff now. Okay. Oh, now they let me Needle. Cool. Well, this is what we're doing. I got one thing to do. Sick. All right. They just kept the fast Yawg hand, and we had everything to beat it. Whew. Got nervous there. I'm thinking about this Bitter Triumph. Like, it answers Grist, and it answers Yawgmoth. I think that's good enough to keep it in the deck. The Fatal Push maybe isn't so worth it. Like, it hits Blood Artist, which is nice. Like, I can mess up their combo. Yeah, I'll just run it back. I'm cool with the way it is now. Or the way that I boarded. Okay, this hand has 1 land. It has Extirpate, but no way to get things in the graveyard, so they need to mill themselves in order for me to extirpate things. It also has 2 bridges that are going to be very difficult to cast, and a Profane Tutor that's difficult to cast. I think I gotta ship this and go to 6. Lantern Lock, 2 lands, discard, interaction, just, yeah, okay. We can try this. Let's bottom the swamp. Actually, wait, no. Yes, because I can turn to, or I can play the Lantern and then fetch away something if I don't like it. This hand, I don't feel so bad having them Thoughtseize this hand. This is not a hand that's reliant on hate pieces or bridge. I don't like the fact that they can just take my Lantern or that they can yoink the Inquisition, but this is more resilient to discard than most other hands would be. Okay, they like their own hand. Okay, well, Lantern. They're drawing Yawgmoth. I think I let them do that. I can Fatal Push it if I need to. I don't like the fact that I'm drawing another land, but I don't really... I'm not going to crack my Lantern to do anything about it. 2 Young Wolves. Well, as they established, that is the combo. 2 Young Wolves and a Yawgmoth. 2 turntables and a microphone. Extirpate is going to be good to interact with the Young Wolf combo. So I think I play out the Forest so that I don't shuffle that away. They're continuing to draw lands. They get in for 2. Works for me. So no Chord this turn. Malevolent Rumble. Sure. There's the Yawgmoth right there. Oh, Meathook Massacre's another Blood Artist. They pick up their second Yawgmoth. That makes sense, because they see the Extirpate. They know that they can't just let me... they can't just let me have that. Yeah, they choose Yawgmoth. Okay. Wow, more lands. Tough. If they don't fetch away the Grist, I'm going to make them get rid of it. Okay. They don't want the Grist. They want the Chord. They probably keep Chord, right? Yeah. I say no. Oof. That's a Chord anyways. So I can Extirpate. I can whack a Young Wolf. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't matter. It doesn't get rid of both the Young Wolves. It only gets rid of one of them. I think I let them draw the Chord. I'm going to Grafdigger's Cage anyway, so they have to set up a turn. They have to set up a turn where they Chord a Calling this turn, if they want the card to be useful. Okay, opponent is slamming Yawg. Opponent's slamming Yawg. So if they start sacrificing, I'm going to respond by Fatal Pushing their other Young Wolf. Actually, they need to get both of them in the yard in order to start going, right? Yeah, so they can't actually do anything here. They're just going to pass. Actually, what I could do here, I can fetch, kill Yawgmoth, Extirpate. And I can even see if the coast is clear for Cage, like if they're holding onto some removal or something. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh, we found a bridge. Look at that. Pay 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control and draw a card. Don't they have to sacrifice something to do that? They're putting it on Yawgmoth. I see. Okay, so they're going to draw a few cards. Oh, wait, now they can just go. I see. I see the problem now. Okay, I need to do that right away. Oops. Yeah, so I need to hit the Young Wolf right now. They can still draw an extra card if they want, but it's kind of brutal. So opponent has an Endurance. Yawgmoth. Okay. I think they can have Grist for now. They can also have Thoughtseize. My hand's going to be empty for the rest of the game if they choose to try and draw that. So they also have a Grist and... What else did they draw? I forgot already. Damn it. There's a Grist. Hi, Grist. They're going to get to mill twice. Get 2 insects because they build another Grist. Oh, Blood Artist is in the graveyard. That's great. They never get that back. Awesome. So I am really looking for a Needle on Grist. I've got everything else figured out. So I will draw this Codex Shredder because it'll get me to where I'm going faster. Yawgmoth is still a problem because they can continue to draw cards. Oh, that's a Boseiju. Never mind, I still have problems. They can still draw that Boseiju. I'm still at 17, thankfully. So I'm not in like super duper danger, but like I'm still in danger. I have a couple things that I need to answer on my opponent's side of the board. And they're trying to draw the Boseiju. I'll pick this in response to try and continue to get them to sacrifice their board state, but, like, they still get Boseiju. Yeah, that's fine. Oof. Oh, it's even a Soul Cauldron, huh? Okay. Well, yeah, so I'm not out of the woods yet. They can continue to draw ludicrous amounts of cards at instant speed. And they have the Soul Cauldron as well, which thankfully is a little non-bow when you combine it with Grist. Because Grist's ultimate wants creatures in the graveyard, and Agatha's Soul Cauldron's going to be eating creatures, but still a bit of a problem. There's Soul Cauldron. That probably eats Yawgmoth. Delighted Halfling, yeah. They did tap out. This does give me... Do they have a Wall of Roots in the graveyard? No, they don't. So this does give me a turn to draw into Needle. That is relevant. So maybe that's what I'm looking for right now. It also lets me get into a second bridge, which is also very relevant. Oh, okay. Well, that's another bridge. They probably still run like a Haywire Might or something, but the odds that they hit that without Chord of Calling is much lower. They can Boseiju the Cage and then find a Might, but then that means I still have a bridge up. Oh, right, sorry. Boseiju only costs 1 green. They had the mana the whole time for Boseiju. Oh, now they can just... No, what can they do? I don't know what they can do. Oh, they chord for 1, looking for... Oh, they don't have any wolves left. I extirpated them. They look for Haywire. That's fine. Oh, no, it's not fine, because they're going to sack it. Yeah, okay, I'm dead. They'll figure something out. That's unfortunate. I completely forgot to re-add Curse Totem to the sideboard. Like, I literally said, oh, I think Yogg's gonna come back, and that's, like, the one reason that you run Curse Totem in your sideboard. Oops. Oops, my bad. So they weren't even running Birthing Rituals. That's kind of unfortunate for me. Looking at their deck, they had no Force of Vigors either. But, damn. Okay. Well, we got 1 game off of them at least, so. On to match 5. Let's close this out. Match 5. Let's do it. Okay, match 5. We finally didn't get on the play. We're on the draw this time. Oh, I just pressed keep without even reading my hand. Okay, this is not a bad hand to keep. Phew. My brain just shut off thinking that I was deciding whether or not I was on the play. We've been doing that all day. But this is fine. I can still go like turn 1, fetch a Swamp, Lantern, and turn 2, do something else. Okay, this looks like Murktide. So the Sagas are nice to try and race them. The Pithing Needle's not going to be very useful. There's a chance that they just take Lantern, if depending on their experience with the deck. I think they take the bridge here, though. The odds that I lock them out early are very slim, but I think it might depend on how much permission they have in their hand. Like, if they have a bunch of counter spells or something, they might just take the Lantern and assume I never reach a bridge. I don't know. Wow, they did take the Lantern. Okay. They might have another discard spell, too. They're just, they just don't need to take the bridge yet, because it's not turn 1, and I'd play turn 1 Lantern more than likely. So, I think I'm fetching a Swamp, going turn 1 Needle, naming Psychic Frog. Murktide doesn't really have anything that I want to shut off with Needle. I could name, like, Polluted Delta as well, but I don't think that's as relevant. They run a lot of lands that aren't Polluted Delta. And Psychic Frog gets big. Sometimes. Us drawing, or another land just kind of sucks, but at least it's a colored source. We may need that green later. Okay, Scalding Tarn. Fetch, Shock, Watery Grave. They know their life total doesn't matter, that's fine. Hey, look at that! Relevant Needle target. Ooh, Thoughtseize is good. I'll go Saga. Did you find additional discard that you were sandbagging for a turn? Are they considering Force of Negation right now? That would be interesting. If they're considering Force of Negation, I don't think that it's correct for them to fire it off here. Well, I guess it could be. Like, I don't know. No, because if they have something to answer Bridge, they need 2 pieces to answer Bridge. So they have Spell Pierce. So what are they doing next turn? Next turn they're swinging with Frog. Casting Preordain. They only have 2 mana. But they draw an extra card with the Frog, so they probably hit their 3rd land. If they don't, then they certainly do with Preordain. How far are we from Murktide? They need 5 cards in graveyard. This is 1. Another fetch is 2. Whatever I make them discard is 3 cards. So they're still 2 cards away from Murktide. I think I'd take the Spell Pierce. I have Urza Sagas ×2. So if I can force through this Ensnaring Bridge next turn, then I'm pretty likely to resolve a bridge. Or sorry, if I can resolve this bridge, then I can just lock them out over in the next turn or two, and then we make sure that we mill over their 1 or 2 sink into stupors, and then the game's done. I think it depends on how they present their mana next turn and what they're trying to do. Because I can also just try and bully them with Saga tokens and force them to commit to a Murktide. They do have 1 Fatal Push for that, but that's okay. Maybe it was correct just to take the Murktide Regent. Oh, they did hit a land, damn. If I hit a Murktide Regent, then the Saga tokens are big bad bullies, and the Spell Pierce wouldn't do anything. Oh, they can Murktide this turn if they want. Just crack their fetch. I don't think they want to, but they topped both of their cards. Drawing a second bridge is interesting. So I could just run a bridge out into permission this turn. I could also... How big does Murktide get? 1, 2, 3. It's a 5/5. That's a 3-turn clock after the Psychic Frog hits the turn, or next turn. Okay, I think I have an idea of what I want to do. I'm going to Fomori Bolt. I'm going to pass. I'm just going to hold up Saga tokens. And then once I have my 2 Saga tokens, I'm going to try and slam bridges the following turns afterwards. And then that way, like, I have Sagas now. And if they don't answer them now, then I'm pressuring them with a lot of damage. But if they do answer them now, then they probably tap out of interaction on my turn, and then I can just slam a bridge. Cling to Dust. Nice. Nice value. They have 4 instants and sorceries in their graveyard. They'll have 5 if they Fatal Push this turn. But then they can't cast Murktide this turn. Never mind. Froggy draws cards. What do you draw, Froggy? Alright, well, they found a land. Alright, let's make Construct. We have Construct. We have other Construct, which they will Fatal Push. Uh-huh. Yep, that was this one. That's fine. I will grab a Lantern of Insight. We even hit the Codex Shredder on a natural draw, which is amazing. Because I can slam the Shredder now, and they are incentivized to counter it. Although they don't really care about their Bowmasters, probably. But, you know, they don't want me to lock them out in the future. I'm just going to run it out now. Make him answer it. You know? I suppose I could have waited till next turn, where I could just play Shredder first, and then it forces them to let it resolve. And then I could bridge afterwards, and then they eat a counterspell that way. But I think I'd rather have them interact with the Shredder now. Okay, interesting. Do I just keep them off of creatures? No, I keep them off of interaction, I think, until a bridge is resolved. I don't think I care about the Bowmasters. Oh, well, that's a different story now. I think I let them draw the Bowmasters still. So that Murktide region's going to be an 8/8. Murktide is much larger than it was before. But they need to tap double blue for it, which is a little sketchy for them. Because they only run... They probably don't run more than 1 or 2 Spell Pierces. I doubt they run Drown in the Lock. So, like, the vast majority of their counter magic's gonna be double blue. We haven't seen any counter spells yet. It's terrifying. Okay, opponent's gonna draw a second Bowmasters. They find a Subtlety. Okay, there's Murktide. That's an 8/8. I need to interact with that very desperately. So they have 2 Bowmasters, so they could have Force Blue card. I might mill this Swamp. I don't know if I want the Swamp. What am I looking for if it's not a Swamp? Discard. I'm looking for discard. Yeah. That's another Swamp. That is not discard. Let's try again. It's also not a Swamp. There's my discard. It's too late, but it's there. Okay, well, I'm slamming bridge. They probably found another Pierce. If they took this line, I assume they found some kind of interaction. Oh, they did run Drown on the lock. Okay, that's good to know. This Inquisition is going to be very important next turn. I'm going to get hit for 8 damage. They have 2 Bowmasters, so that's another 2. So I'm at virtual 4 at the end of next turn. Subtlety doesn't change that. But Inquisition is extremely useful. They have an Inquisition on top as well. Uh-oh. So I can always shuffle, or make them shuffle with the Lantern too, and tutor up another Lantern next turn. I should consider that as well. Okay, opponent gets in for 9. I'm going to go to 5. Oh, sorry, I'm at virtual 3, not virtual 4. Oh, right, they draw a card. Yeah, you can't have that Inquisition. All right, it's cutting it close. Things are sketchy. What does opponent do today? Blue mana is tapped. Blue mana is untapped. Black mana is tapped. No, they found an Inquisition. Ah, brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Okay, everything's going to be an island. That doesn't really matter. I'm kind of glad they showed me that. So I'm basically just trying to find a bridge. So technically speaking... Oh yeah, I think I could just crack this now. I'm just going to find green mana. That might be useful later if the game continues on. Yeah, because they have Bowmasters. I need to make sure I can make my hand empty next turn, so green mana will help guarantee that. I guess this gives them some knowledge that I'm going to be running a basic forest as well. And they haven't seen any green spells yet, so that's some information for them. Okay, moment of truth. Fatal Push. That does not do it. Okay. Whoops. Alright. Sideboard time. Collective Brutality comes in. Trophy may or may not come in. I'm not sure. I think I'll leave Trophy out. All of their stuff that I want to hit are creatures. I think I'd rather have creature interaction. Cookbook comes out. The Grafdigger's Cage comes out. I guess Extirpate could come in. I don't know. I think Fatal Pushes and Bitter Triumphs or the Bitter Triumph, all of these are good. The Needles are pretty bad, though. I guess I can leave in 1 Needle, but I don't think that they're very helpful in this matchup. Actually, no, I'll take them all out. It doesn't really matter. We can board in the Extirpates that way. That just cuts through a Counterspell. Awesome. So I have 2 redraws and a Shredder. I'm keeping it. I'm considering whether or not I do like a double bauble start. Like if I go turn 1 Shredder. I think that's the most weak against my opponent doing a turn 1 Thoughtseize, but I have double discard anyway, so like they just take Lantern. No, I think I can take a turn off at that. I think I just run out Lantern and then just play both the baubles, treat them as redraws. Because like if my opponent Thoughtseizes me, the Lantern is the most valuable target in this hand. Are they considering whether or not they force that? Oh, that would have been really funny. Oh, Bauble. Hi, Bauble. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I hold these until the Codex Shredder. Because I can see my top card anyways. And one of the top cards I want to draw, and I also really need to hit land, so... I think I want to keep that bridge on top. I'm going to get 3 cards that I draw this turn. Hitting a land is pretty likely, and even if I don't, I still have a bunch of 1-drops that I can theoretically cast. Or not theoretically, a bunch of cards I can cast. Look at the card. I looked at the card. Look at it again. I will look at it. Also, getting these baubles out of the deck while Bowmasters is uncastable is also helpful. Opponent's only on 13 minutes after game 1. Oh, there's a land. Cool. Never punished. Okay. Inquisition. What are you working with over there? If they counter this, I'm absolutely playing the Swamp and then running out the Thoughtseize. Okay, so I am going to take the Consign. I'm going to play Urza Saga. And I'm going to Codex Shredder away the Consign to memory. Or wait, hold on. I'm going to do that on their upkeep so that they can't take advantage of their surveil land. Nope, never mind. They're just going to fetch. You're right. Consign's overrated. You don't need it. Okay, they don't know about my ensnaring bridge, so they're not going to scoop yet. But we're in a good place. I'm very happy. It's a very clear path to victory here. Okay, there's the Froggy. Froggy will get a crack in, unfortunately, but I think I... Do I mill the land? I think I'm okay drawing a land. I don't want that Catacombs, though. I'm going to fetch it away. I'll grab the Forest, because I have the basic Swamp in hand. Slam a bridge. And next turn, I will be Hellbent. Yeah, I don't even care about resolving a single spell for the rest of the game. They can have that Force negation. Force is yours. They're stuck drawing Spell Pierces. Cool, they play Froggy. I'll grab Pixis. I'll play Thoughtseize. Yeah, okay. Just to confirm they have nothing going on, which they don't. Alright, game's wrapped. And they're very far behind on time, so the longer that they play this out, the happier I am. Okay, I'll Pixis. Actually, you know what? If they're behind on time, I want to leave cards in their library until they speed up. I am under no obligation to speed up the game. Now they are really just spinning into lands over and over again. Their deck is not giving them a break. Beep beep. MTGO in post here. Gonna skip through the rest of this game because it takes like another 13 to 15 minutes and it's just me rambling while I slowly mill them out as agonizingly as possible over time because they refuse to scoop and they're losing time compared to me at each turn that they don't scoop. There's nothing interesting in their deck list. The only thing worth noting, I think, is that they boarded in a Narset Parter of Veils, but that doesn't really do a whole lot against me because I don't draw multiple cards a turn. It just helps them dig for counterspells a little bit more consistently. It's a needle target, something to know, but otherwise we just go to game 3 and it's a Murktide deck. It's running Murktide cards. Yeah. Onto postboard. So opponent's got 5 minutes left on the clock, so if the game goes long, then they're kind of dead. They took a lot of time thinking about their game 1 as well, so that's going to be pretty relevant. They're going to kind of have to be on rails on game 3. See, they ran 2 Sink into Supers. It seems like their only interaction in board. I'm just taking some of this time to decompress. It seems like my opponent's tilting a little bit too, so that, I mean, I kind of feel bad for them. It seems like they don't really like the matchup too much, but it seems like, strategically speaking, they are their own detriment right now. So I think I lead into that and just ice out the clock as well in here. But I also kind of need this time to decompress because I was in autopilot mill mode at the end of that game, and I need some time for my brain to convert back. I think the board stays the same. Yeah, I don't care about Terrace Unders. We saw their whole deck. I did all their stuff that is permanence is creatures and lands. So I don't need the trophies. Needles aren't relevant for anything but the frog. And I don't think I need board wipes. Emrakul's not useful. Damping Sphere is not helpful. Nothing in their deck cares about Cage. Actually, they did have a Narset, so I'll put in 1 Needle. I'll take out a Bauble. Because they do run the Bowmasters, so... Or actually, maybe Candy Trail... No, Candy Trail helps me dig, at least. So, there we go. Cool, look at that. Okay, what does this hand do? I'm thinking I keep this because it's got Sagas and Bridge. They immediately mulliganed as well, so the amount of interaction that they have is limited. Whoa! No lands in their starting hand. Alright, well, we're fully on the mana denial plan then. Maybe they just auto-passed in haste. I guess we'll see. Yeah, they had a land, they just forgot to play it. Wow. Yeah, they're tripping over themselves. Yeah, I don't care about them having an Inquisition here. So to be fair, they wouldn't have been able to grab the Lantern anyways, because we top-decked that, but still, yikes. Okay, opponent is going to play Froggy. Okay. I will get rid of that Shredder. I'll also get rid of that Sink, but I think I want a Brutality first. Oh, you know what? I could just block with a Construct. Okay. Well, Shredder. That's gone. Awesome. They are proactively putting counters on the frog. Well, they probably have a push then, but I'm still going to do this. Actually, we didn't see the pushes in game 2, did we? I think no, they did have some pushes still. Okay, they can fly. That's fine. Inquisition's going to take my brutality. That's fine. I think I did kind of play out my mana wrong here because I can't play this Thoughtseize and make a construct in the same turn. But I am going to Pithing Needle the frog so that it can't fly anymore. I've clipped the frog's wings. I do not envy my opponent's position right now. They are a control tempo deck that is under severe time pressure against a very complicated board state. Oh, they want to draw that. I'll fight. Oh, they're drawing Narset. Okay. That's fine. I will Thoughtseize. They Bowmasters. And then they probably just dump their hand to the frog. Nope. Alright. They really want that Spell Snare. So I am going to... I'm going to get rid of one of the Bowmasters. Actually, no, I don't care about that. Because I can just make a third construct, which is way more important than killing a Bowmasters. Yeah, they can draw a frog. That's cool. Swing in! Why did they do that? Hello. Alright, that's the league. You know, it's funny. I think this is probably one of my worst Lantern builds, and yet this is the one where I go 3-2. Like, I actually go positive. But, well, we'll talk about that in the conclusion. Let's wrap this up. Alright, deck conclusion time. So, match 1 we played... Oh, where's the deck? There's the deck. So, match 1 we played against Amulet. And we did struggle. We did win a game. But we did end up losing. So, one thing that I think I neglected while building this deck, I was just a little anxious to get playing in the new meta. I don't think I accounted for the meta in the sideboard properly at all. I think in the intro I said I did. I was not ready at all. I think the deck needs a bit of a retooling to account for Amulet and Yawgmoth coming back into the format. We saw both of them this league, and while yes, it's a sample size of 5 games or 5 matches, that's still a telltale sign that Nadu is gone. Other combo decks are coming out of the woodwork again. That was something that I was expecting before, or a lot of people were expecting before, and that's what I can confirm. People are testing it. So I think that the sideboard needs to gear towards that more. So Extirpate is good, but maybe I need to run some surgicals alongside it. Curse Totem needs to come in for sure. Damping Sphere absolutely stays in. Depending on how popular Amulet is, maybe Damping Sphere even goes up to 3 copies. We'll have to see. It's good against Storm as well, which is a difficult matchup if we can't get their hand empty. The Grafdigger's Cages I like having 2 of these. I like having the Terra Sunders. I think this Assassin's Trophy should probably be main board. And then I think I could run 2 Flaying Tendrils as sideboard tools, because if I'm running board wipes against my opponent, like 2 toughness, if they have more than 2 toughness, then I probably don't care about the creature, because it gets stopped by bridge, like 99% of the time. It's also worth noting that I could probably get rid of some Yawgmoth pieces with Flaying Tendrils. That might be something to think about. And then if I put my deck in a position where it's more colorless based, then I could go up to 4 Ancient Stirrings again, and I get a lot of redundancy, or a lot of filtering in my deck, which I'd like. I think that the heavy basics plan with Prismatic Vista was a mistake, in hindsight. There were a lot of games where the mana was very awkward, and the format seems to have slowed down, at least before it stabilizes again. It looks like people are testing out a lot of fun stuff right now, instead of just playing the good things like Energy and the One Ring control, which is fair. Nadu is gone. Grief is even gone. So, you know, format's kind of blown wide open. The only thing that would police you is the ring, but the ring doesn't really police you, it just grinds value over time. So it's not really an actively oppressive card, so to speak, in the way that Nadu and Grief were. So I think a lot of people are going to be testing out a lot more stuff for the time being. So I don't think I need to be, or like, people are going to be slower. Decks are going to slow down. So I think shocking in an Overgrown Tomb is less of a concern than it normally would be. I do still like having an extra basic, so maybe what I'll do in the future is maybe I cut a Vista cut a basic, re-add the Blooming Marsh back in. What is that? That's 5 fetches and 5 fetchables. I still have 1 Prismatic Vista to fetch basics if I need it. And then I have like an extra land flex slot. I'm not sure what that is, but like maybe I just add a pathway back in. Maybe I leave 5 basics. I don't know. But oh wait, no, I need to add the tomb. Sorry. So mine is cut 1 Vista, cut 1 Swamp, add an Overgrown Tomb, add the 4th Blooming Marsh. Yeah, that's how I want to do it. And I think the mana would smooth out a lot more than what we saw in especially Match 1. Match 1 had some very bad mana. I did like Fatal Push. I think Fatal Push is fine in the deck. I think that most Lantern lists have like 2 flex slots. I don't think that Bitter Triumph should be a replacement to Assassin's Trophy, especially if we're fixing up the mana. That Assassin's Trophy, like against Amulet and against Yawgmoth, those were 2 matches where I really wanted the trophy, and against Breach too. Like my Fatal Pushes did very little. Like they did technically win me the first game, but like they shouldn't have. It could have just been a trophy doing the same thing. What did you guys see during the league? Please comment down below. It helps the engagement meter quite a bit. So this video will be shown to more people who will learn about Lantern Control in this post-ban meta. If you like what you see here, then this deck list is available on Moxfield. Do check that out. Link is in the description down below. If you want to see other deck lists that I run as well, I do play a lot of Lantern, and I play a little bit of some other stuff in Modern too. Go to the Moxfield's link for my profile down below, or you can just click in the Moxfield deck link, but you can just click my account and you should see stuff from there too. If you want to see more Lantern videos, then this will be part of a playlist that'll come up on the end card of the screen. Should come up momentarily. If you go to my YouTube profile page, you should see a bunch of content creators on there, like right at the top. The top row is other Magic the Gathering creators. Most of them do Lantern Control, some of them do some other stuff too. And the column below that is going to be people that do other gaming that I am close friends with, and they do good stuff and they're really friendly, and you should check them out too. That's it for my plugs for today. Keep lanterning. That was bad. Cut that. Take care, everybody. Need to find a more creative outro.